everyone! Welcome back to the Native English Podcast, brought to you by Native English Stories. I'm Sarah.
And I'm John. We are genuinely so glad you're hanging out with us today.
Absolutely. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, on a quick lunch break, stuck in traffic, or winding down for the night, welcome. We really do appreciate you giving us your time.
Sarah, before we dive in today, quick question. How's your day actually going?
Honestly, it's been solid. A little hectic, but the good kind of busy, you know? What about you?
Pretty much the same. I was moving in slow motion this morning, but once I grabbed a decent cup of coffee, I felt like I could take on the world again.
Coffee really is the fuel of the modern world. And to our listeners, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for being here. Now, if you enjoy learning English through natural conversations like this one, please hit like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with a friend or family member who is also on this English journey.
All right, let's get into it. Today's episode is a big one, especially for beginners. We're tackling the one thing that trips up almost every English learner at some point.
Tenses, specifically simple present, simple past, and simple future.
We hear it all the time. Learners saying, I understand the words, I follow the conversation, but I just freeze when I have to pick the right tense.
And that hesitation is exactly what holds people back. So today, we're going to make tenses feel simple, clear, and genuinely useful. No grammar pressure, no dusty rules, just real-world understanding and examples you can actually use. Let's start with the simple present tense. This is the tense we use for habits, routines, and things that are generally true.
Let's start easy. Sarah, tell me something you do every single day.
Sure. I wake up early, I make coffee, I check my messages, and I go for a short walk.
Perfect. All of those are simple present. We use this tense when something happens again and again. Daily routines, weekly habits, things that are normal and regular in our lives.
Now for the structure. For most subjects, I, you, we, they, we use the base form of the verb. I work, you study, we live here, they play basketball.
Clean and simple. But when we talk about he, she, or it, a small change happens.
The verb usually gets an S or ES at the end. He works, she studies, it rains a lot here.
This small s causes a surprising amount of worry for learners. But honestly, even if you forget it sometimes, people will still understand you completely.
Exactly. Communication always comes first. Now, when do we actually use the simple present in real life? First, for daily routines. I wake up at 7, I go to work at 9, I eat lunch at 1.
Second, for habits. I read before I sleep, I exercise on weekends, I call my family on Sundays.
Third, for general facts. The sun rises in the east, water freezes at 0 degrees. Dogs make great companions.
Very true. Now for negatives, we use do not or does not. I don't like loud places. She doesn't eat processed food. They don't work on weekends.
And for questions, we move do or does to the beginning. Do you work from home? Does she live nearby?
One important thing. When we use does in a question, the main verb goes back to its base form. Does she work, not does she works. Very common mistake and completely understandable.
Let's do a quick real-life conversation using the simple present. Imagine two people meeting at a networking event.
Hi, what do you do?
I work in digital marketing. What about you?
I'm a freelance designer. I also teach English online on weekends.
Oh, wow. That sounds really fulfilling.
Simple sentences, very natural, very real. That is exactly the kind of English that matters.
Practice idea for listeners. Today, try saying 5 sentences about your daily life out loud. I wake up at 7, I drink tea in the morning, I study English after work. Speaking out loud is where real confidence builds, not just thinking the sentences silently. Now let's move to the simple past tense. This is for things that already happened, yesterday, last week, last year. If the action is finished, the simple past is usually what you need.
What did you do yesterday, Sarah?
Yesterday, I worked in the morning and then I relaxed in the evening. I watched a show I'd been meaning to catch up on.
Great. I worked, I relaxed, I watched. Those are all simple past. For many verbs, forming the past tense is straightforward. You just add ed to the end.
Work becomes worked. Watch becomes watched. Play becomes played. These are called regular verbs, and there are plenty of them.
But English always has a but.
Always. Some verbs don't follow this pattern at all. These are irregular verbs. Go becomes went, eat becomes ate, see becomes saw, buy becomes bought.
There's no shortcut for irregular verbs. You learn them gradually through listening, reading, and using them in real sentences. And honestly, listening to natural English conversations is one of the most effective ways to absorb them without even trying to memorize them.
When do we use the simple past in real life? First, for actions that happened at a specific finished time. I woke up at 6 yesterday. She called me last night.
Second, for things that are completely done. I watched a documentary last weekend. He finished the project on Friday.
Third, for a series of events that happened one after the other. I got up, made breakfast, and left the house.
For negatives in simple past, we use did not or didn't. I didn't go to the gym yesterday. She didn't answer my message. And notice, after did not, the main verb goes back to its base form.
I didn't eat breakfast, not I didn't ate breakfast. That is one of the most common mistakes learners make, and it's completely understandable why.
The rule is the same as with modal verbs. Did is already doing the past work, so the main verb relaxes and stays in base form.
For questions in simple past, we use did at the start. Did you sleep well last night? Did she call you back? And again, the main verb stays in base form. Did you go, not did you went.
Let's do a short real-life conversation. Two friends catching up on a Monday.
Hey, how was your weekend?
It was really good, actually. I visited some friends on Saturday and we went to a farmer's market.
Oh, nice. Did you travel far?
No, I stayed local, but it was a really lovely day. What about you?
I stayed home mostly. I finished a book I'd been reading for weeks, finally.
That satisfaction of finishing a book is so real.
Practice idea for listeners. Today, try saying 5 sentences about your daily life. I woke up early, I ate breakfast, I went for a walk, I watched something in the evening, and I went to bed at 11. Say them slowly and clearly. Every time you say a sentence correctly, your brain builds that path a little stronger. Now let's move to the simple future tense. This is how we talk about tomorrow, next week, next month, anything that hasn't happened yet.
Sarah, do you have any plans for this weekend?
Yes, actually. I'm going to visit a friend who just moved to a new neighborhood, and I'll probably try a new coffee place nearby.
2 future forms used naturally right there. I'm going to visit and I'll try. There are 2 main ways to talk about the future in English, will and going to.
Use going to when you've already made a plan or decision before this moment. Use will when you're making a decision right now or making a general prediction.
Let's compare. I'm going to watch a film tonight. You planned this earlier. I will watch a film tonight. Maybe you just decided this very second.
Subtle but real difference, and in everyday conversation, people mix them quite naturally.
For positive sentences with will, subject plus will plus base verb. I will study English tonight. She will travel to a new city next month.
For positive sentences with going to, subject plus am, is, or are plus going to plus base verb. I am going to cook a proper meal tonight. They are going to start a new project next week.
For negatives with will, we use will not or the contraction won't. I won't be late. She will not forget.
For negatives with going to, we use am not, is not, or are not going to. I'm not going to watch TV tonight. They are not going to attend the event.
For questions with will, just move will to the front. Will you help me with this? Will she call us?
For going to, move am, is, or are to the front. Are you going to travel next month? Is he going to join the team meeting?
Let's do a natural conversation. 2 friends on a Sunday evening.
Hey, do you have any plans for the week?
Yes, actually. I'm going to start going to a yoga class on Tuesday. I've been wanting to try it for ages.
Oh, wow, that's great. I think I'll finally sign up for that online course I've been putting off.
Good for you. Are you going to tell your friend Marcus about it? He mentioned wanting to do something similar.
I'll probably message him tonight, actually. Good reminder.
Notice how naturally going to and will appeared there. Planned actions used going to, spontaneous decisions used will, and it all sounded like two real people talking, not a grammar exercise.
A couple of helpful tips for using the future tense. First, always say your sentences out loud. Second, use time words. Tonight, tomorrow, next week. These signal to the listener that you're talking about the future. I go to the store sounds present. I will go to the store tomorrow is clearly future.
Third, use contractions in speech. I'll instead of I will. You'll instead of you will. It sounds much more natural.
Now let's talk about mixing all three tenses, because that's how real conversations actually work. People don't stay in one tense for a whole conversation. They jump between past, present, and future constantly.
Let's go through a quick example using all three about the same topic. Mornings.
I wake up at 7 every morning. Simple present, my routine.
Yesterday, I woke up a little late and skipped breakfast. Simple past, a finished action.
Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up on time and actually make eggs. Simple future, a plan.
See how all three appeared about the same topic at different points in time? Let's try a slightly longer story.
Yesterday morning, I got up early, made coffee, and sat by the window for a bit.
I usually do that on weekdays.
Then a friend called and asked if I wanted to meet up.
Did you go?
Yes, we went to a new cafe that opened near the park. It was really nice.
Wow, that sounds lovely. Are you going to go back?
Definitely. I'm going to take my colleague Oliver there next week. He loves good coffee.
That whole conversation used present, past, and future completely naturally without overthinking it once.
That's exactly how fluent English speakers use tenses. Not by thinking about rules, but by thinking about time. When did it happen? Past. When does it happen regularly? Present. When will it happen? Future.
Let's quickly cover some common beginner mistakes.
Mistake 1. Mixing present form with past time words. I go to the market yesterday. Correct version, I went to the market yesterday. The word yesterday tells us it's past, so the verb needs to be past too.
Mistake 2, forgetting the S in simple present for he, she, or it. He go to school every day. Correct, he goes to school every day.
Mistake 3, using the wrong form of irregular verbs. I buyed a new book. Correct, I bought a new book. Irregular verbs need to be learned one by one over time.
Mistake 4, using going to for completely spontaneous decisions. If someone offers you coffee right now and you say, I am going to have coffee, in that moment, I will have coffee sounds more natural because it's a spontaneous, in-the-moment choice.
All of these mistakes are completely fixable with practice. Nobody gets this right immediately.
And one final tip before we wrap up, try telling your day to someone in English every evening, even just 5 or 6 sentences.
Today, I worked. I had a great lunch. I called my best friend. I watched a movie. And I'm going to head to bed early tonight. Past, 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 and a future plan. All in one quick daily recap.
You'll honestly start seeing real improvement within just a few weeks if you practice like this consistently.
Let's do a final summary. Use the simple present for daily habits, regular routines, and general facts.
Use the simple past for finished actions, things that happened at a specific moment that's already over.
And for the simple future, use will for quick, spontaneous decisions and going to for plans you've already made.
When you start mixing them naturally in conversation, your English begins to sound much more authentic and fluent.
We really hope this episode helped you feel a bit more confident with your tenses. Understanding how they work is always more important than being perfect.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us, please like the video and subscribe to the Native English podcast brought to you by Native English Stories and share it with someone who's working on their English too.
Check out the pinned comment below. We've left a little challenge for you there. Try writing a short story in the comments using all 3 tenses. We genuinely love reading what you come up with.
Keep practicing and keep speaking. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.